Have you ever wondered why the Israel-Palestine conflict, one of the world's longest-running geopolitical issues, remains unresolved? This is a question that has perplexed many a mind, from historians to political analysts, and even regular folks who follow international news. A complex weave of history, politics, and territorial disputes, the Israel-Palestine conflict is an enigma that has endured for more than a century. It's a subject that continues to command global attention, often dominating headlines and stirring up passionate debates. The enduring nature of this conflict is a testament to its complexity and the countless lives it has affected. But to truly comprehend the depth and breadth of this issue, we must journey back in time to the very roots of the conflict. So buckle up as we delve into the historical roots of this conflict to better understand its complexity. The Israel-Palestine conflict has deep historical roots that predate the 20th century. A journey back in time takes us to the region of historical Palestine, a land that has seen the footprints of diverse groups for centuries. From the ancient Canaanites to the Jews and Arabs, this piece of earth has been a tapestry of cultures and civilizations. For several hundred years, it was under the rule of the Ottoman Empire, a period marked by relative peace and coexistence. However, the winds of change were beginning to blow by the late 19th century with the rise of Zionism among Jewish communities across Europe. This movement, fueled by a yearning for a Jewish homeland in the ancestral land of Israel, was a response to centuries of persecution and pogroms. It led to a significant increase in Jewish immigration to Palestine, adding a new thread to the demographic fabric of the region. The end of the First World War brought the fall of the Ottoman Empire, and the League of Nations granted Britain the mandate to govern Palestine. The British found themselves in the middle of simmering tensions between the Jewish immigrants, who were driven by their Zionist aspirations, and the Arab majority, who had been living there for centuries. Their coexistence was gradually transforming into co-conflict, as both groups harbored nationalistic ambitions for the same piece of land. The British Mandate period was marked by a series of riots, revolts, and violent incidents as the Arab majority resisted what they perceived as an encroachment on their homeland. At the same time, the Jewish immigrants, fueled by their dream of a national home, continued to arrive in increasing numbers. And so, the stage was set for a conflict that would shape the Middle East for decades to come. A land that had been a crossroads of cultures was about to become a battleground for competing nationalisms, setting the stage for a dispute that continues to this day. As we move forward in our story, we will see how this conflict took shape and evolved over time. 1947 marks a crucial turning point in the Israel-Palestine conflict. In this year, the United Nations proposed a partition plan, a blueprint meant to divide the region of Palestine into separate Jewish and Arab states. This plan was a response to the rising tensions between Jewish immigrants and the Arab majority in the area, a direct consequence of the British Mandate after World War I. The United Nations proposal was accepted by Jewish leaders who saw it as a realization of the Zionist dream, a Jewish homeland in Palestine. However, the plan was flatly rejected by Arab leaders. They viewed the partition as an infringement on their rights and an unjust reward to the Zionist movement. The rejection of the partition plan led to a series of violent clashes. But it was the declaration of the State of Israel in 1948 that triggered a full-scale war. Neighboring Arab states launched an offensive against Israel, a conflict now known as the 1948 Arab-Israeli War. Despite being outnumbered, Israel emerged from the war with expanded territory, a victory that cemented its status in the region. Yet for Palestinians, the war is remembered not as a conflict but as a catastrophe, or Nakba in Arabic. It marked the beginning of a massive displacement of Palestinians from their homes. Hundreds of thousands were forced to flee or were expelled, a traumatic event that still echoes in the Palestinian collective memory today. The Nakba is a significant aspect of the Israel-Palestine conflict, representing the loss and suffering experienced by Palestinians. It's a term that encapsulates the Palestinian narrative of dispossession and exile, a stark contrast to the Israeli narrative of independence and survival. The 1948 war paved the way for a conflict that continues today. This conflict, born out of a territorial dispute and fueled by historical, cultural, and political factors, remains unresolved. It's a testament to the deep-rooted issues that are at the heart of the Israel-Palestine conflict, issues that continue to shape the discourse and the dynamics of this long-standing dispute. The Six-Day War of 1967 was a watershed moment in the Israel-Palestine conflict. This conflict led to Israel's occupation of the West Bank, Gaza Strip, and East Jerusalem. This occupation has been a major source of tension, sparking numerous conflicts and framing the socio-political landscape of the region. The West Bank and Gaza Strip, home to a large Palestinian population, have been under Israeli control since the war. Over the years, Israel has established numerous settlements in these territories, a move considered illegal by international law. These settlements have often led to displacement of Palestinians and have become a significant obstacle to peace. The issue of refugees also remains a major point of contention. The wars and conflicts have led to the displacement of hundreds of thousands of Palestinians, many of whom still live in refugee camps in neighboring countries. Their right to return to their homes, a right upheld by international law, remains unfulfilled, adding another layer to this intricate conflict. The status of Jerusalem, a city sacred to three major world religions, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, is another contentious issue. Both Israelis and Palestinians claim Jerusalem as their capital. However, Israel maintains de facto control over the entire city, a situation that continues to fuel tensions. Over the years, numerous peace initiatives and negotiations have been attempted, including the Oslo Accords, Camp David Accords, and the Annapolis Conference. Yet these efforts have failed to produce a comprehensive peace agreement. The complexity of the conflict, coupled with the deep-seated grievances and aspirations of both sides, has made the path to peace elusive. Security is another ongoing concern. Incidents of violence and terror attacks have occurred with alarming frequency, resulting in loss of innocent lives and further straining the relations between Israelis and Palestinians. In conclusion, the Israel-Palestine conflict is not just about land and borders, but also about identity, justice, and self-determination. It's a conflict that has deeply affected the lives of millions of people and has had far-reaching implications for regional and global politics. The Israel-Palestine conflict remains a heated topic of global debate, an unresolved issue demanding a just and peaceful resolution. The Israel-Palestine conflict is a multifaceted issue with historical, political, and cultural dimensions. We've delved into its deep historical roots, tracing back centuries to when various groups, including Jews and Arabs, inhabited the region of historical Palestine under the rule of the Ottoman Empire. We navigated through the birth of the conflict in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, with the rise of the Zionist movement advocating for a Jewish homeland in Palestine. This led to increased Jewish immigration, escalating tensions during the British Mandate. The United Nations Partition Plan in 1947, accepted by Jewish leaders but rejected by Arab ones, marked the inception of a full-blown conflict. The subsequent 1948 Arab-Israeli War resulted in the expansion of Israeli territory, remembered by Palestinians as the Nakba, or catastrophe, as it led to massive displacement. The cycle of occupation and conflict continued with the Six-Day War in 1967, when Israel occupied the West Bank, Gaza Strip, and East Jerusalem. Despite numerous peace initiatives, the conflict remains unresolved, entangled in issues of borders, settlements, refugees, security, and the status of Jerusalem. In understanding the history of this conflict, we can hope for a future where peace is not just an aspiration, but a reality.